The one thing I did not expect to make a video about in set 9 is Cho'Gath Carry. I think it's fair to say that everyone who tried him came to the same conclusion that this unit is terrible. He doesn't deal enough damage, he gets stuck on the enemy front line, and don't even get me started on the enemy Cassante. So why am I making this video? Riot has tried for a while now to make Cho'Gath viable, and with the last PvE patch they finally succeeded. They gave him more damage, lower mana cost, and an incredibly valuable quality of life change that reduced his animation lockout. I think it's safe to say that Cho Bit'em is back on the menu. So let's take a look at how you can play him. For Legends, you have a few options. I enjoy running Lee Sin for trade sector, and sometimes I like to take the stage 3 augment as well to finish my Cho'Gath 3-star. It is pretty important to 3-star him early because he survives much longer, deals a lot more damage, and receives more HP with every kill. I feel like there are two directions you can aim for: Bruisers and Void. Bruisers are pretty simple. Your goal is to run 6 of them in the late game and run either Ishtal or units like Kai'Sa to fill up the rest of your team. I believe that with this strategy, you should focus on giving Cho'Gath damage items. I tried a few different variations and I was pleasantly surprised with Jeweled Gauntlet and Double Hand of Justice. Other items like Bloodthirster, Archangel or Ionic Spark are obviously fine as well. The reason why damage items here are so important is that you want to gather as many stacks as possible because they count towards Cho'Gath's base HP. This base HP is getting multiplied by the Bruiser trait, which creates a nice snowball effect. You'd be surprised how much more HP you can get out of Cho'Gath if you focus on offensive items. As for running Ishtal as a support trait, the priority is quite simple. Wood for bonus HP is by far the best choice. In case you are wondering, I tested this in detail and it is not possible to stack HP on 2 units and combine them for more stacks. This means for the most part it is fine to only run 2 Ishtal to constantly buff your Cho'Gath. Other useful Ishtal elements are Ice and Stone. Ice Hexes spawn on the front line and they give you a nice heal and an aggro drop. Stone Hexes also spawn on the front line and they grant CC immunity and damage reduction, which is amazing against Cassante in late game and an overall useful addition to your comp. I would say that Wind, Fire and Electric are skippable and you can run other units instead to cap out your board. Regardless of how good your Ishtal element is, you should always make sure that you have 2 Ishtal units on your board in stage 3-1 and 4-1. This is to ensure that the Ishtal trait is activated to potentially give you one of the best augments in the entire game, Rejuvenating Flames. This augment grants your team an insane HP regen effect, which fits perfectly into your comp. If you're not a fan of running Bruisers because maybe you don't have a Bruiser emblem or you don't want to risk finding a Scion, you can also go for Void units instead. Here the setup works a bit differently. With Void you have a lot of other units that can act as a carry, and Herald or Baron aren't exactly on the weak side either. You will also likely only have 2 Bruisers on your board, so you get a lot less value out of your bonus HP stacks. This is why here it can make sense to focus more on defensive items like Redemption and Ionic Spark and have him act as an off tank. Depending on your setup, you can rush for level 8 to add Baron Nashor or simply stay at level 7 and 3-star most of your board for a strong Rift Herald. One small tip I do want to mention is that the augment Jeweled Lotus currently does not work in set 9.5 for the Void summon. I think it was possible for Rift Herald and Nashor to critically strike in set 9.0, but from what I've seen this is not the case anymore. There are also some special cases like stacking the HP gain from Sterak, but this is an interaction I want to cover in a future video. What is your favorite item build for Cho'Gath? Let me know in the comments. I hope you learned something and see you next time.